Good morning, I'm going to come in a little closer. Good morning, everybody. Oh, Beverly, good to see you.
Hello,
So
dear.
we are here starting our fabulous community day with our wonderful sponsor, supporter, Travando, and all the good folks and affiliated with the Redwood City Parks and Rec Department and the Veterans Memorial Senior Center and Adaptive PE. Woo, that's a mouthful.
It is.
So today we are going to do some gentle exercise, and I'm going to offer a couple of options. First is working from your chair, such as this. Wee. And also, I'm going to show folks how we can do these exercises standing. So take a deep inner breath and kind of think about where your energy level is, what your body is ready for this morning. And if you go to commit to one path and it's not a good fit, guess what? You'll just switch to a different one. So if you are already seated, fabulous, stay there. We're going to feel our feet to the floor. Kind of note where our shoulders are. Sometimes they go a little bit further forward. Typically, they kind of come back and let you rest. And that's fabulous. Now, what we'd like to do is just get real comfortable in our chair. And if you're doing standing work, hold on. I will recommend and support that you stand tall, feel your fingers, feel your toes, stretch low, and whether you're sitting or standing, relax your shoulders and inhale, arms nice and tall. Exhale, hand to heart. And maybe you need to do a little adjusting left to right. My dog is having a noisy morning, and we'll breathe in again. And exhale, hands to heart. And one more time, feeling your feet. Exhaling through your nose, through your mouth. And when your hands come to your heart, just gently press fingers together, palms together, and then press hands to heart, heart to hands, and feel this nice strong connection as you start your exercise event. We're going to release our hands down, stretch. So if you're seated, nothing is very different other than you have a little bit more ability to rock back and forth and feel your toes to your heels. If you're standing, it's nice to keep a chair close by, because then we can go back and forth with a little bit more safety. So while you're feeling that sensation, I want to raise my camera up. Technology and I are old friends. There we go. Okay. So here's the chair. If you're seated, you're going to be right here. If you're standing, you're going to be right here. And I'd like all of us for a moment to notice our big toes and just give them a gentle press to the ground. If you're wearing shoes or socks, that's fine. It'll be a different sensation, but still your feet will be active. And then you're going to just notice the outside edge and maybe start with your pinky toe. And just feel that strong connection to the earth.
Stand.
Roll the shoulders down, steady as we go. If you're standing, please look and make sure there's some daylight between your feet, at least 2 fists. Inhale tall. And exhale. If you're seated, I want you to move your, let's see, we're just gonna do a forward fold. So I want you to take your shoulders forward towards your knees. If you're standing, nothing much is going to change. We're just going to come forward very gently, not a lot of big change here, just enough stretch into the legs, lengthening of the spine that you feel like lovely and tall. Soften your knees. Now, if you're seated, take your hands to your knees. If you're standing, we're going to look up just ever so slightly. We're going to move into a cat-cow pose. So seated folks, elbows bent, belly floating forward, chest stretching forward, standing just exactly the same. And then when we exhale, we lengthen our arms, tuck chin towards chest, round the upper back. And just a little more like this. Inhale to exhale. Inhale to exhale. Seated folks come to neutral spine, shoulders over hips. Standing folks, lots of bend to the knee as we inhale tall, hands come up, or all of us exhale, hands to heart. Roll the shoulders back once, twice, 3 times. And I'm going to turn. I turn a few extra times, you don't need to do this. I just do this because I like to see your beautiful faces. Oh, and let me introduce you to our class assistant. This is August.
Hi, August.
Camera shy. This is my little boxer dog, August. You want to sit on the chair? No. Okay.
Does he change his name next month?
And then we're going to take a big breath in. And as we exhale, seated or standing, I want you to take your arms out wide. These are our training wheels. And we're going to kind of lift. Let's start with our left heel picking up. Left foot slides back a little. There we go. It's kind of hogging the screen. If you're seated, please bring your right foot forward and left foot back just between the legs of the chair. And when we're in this very steady lunge, roll your shoulders forward once, twice, 3 times. And if this is feeling like a lot, that is because it is. We're going to inhale, lengthen our legs, and exhale, release back down. Palms are looking at the sky. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, come down. Once more, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, come down. Now, what we're going to do, if you're seated, keep your belly button down the same. Everybody's going to bring hands to heart, and we're going to change where our arms are going to be placed. We're going to take that back leg. If you're in the chair, stay put. If you're standing, the back heel comes to the ground, and that right knee. I want to show you my feet. They're so fascinating. So that's what my back foot looks like. That's what my front leg looks like. And then rotate. And can you bring your right arm forwards? It should, whatever your front leg is, should be your right. That arm comes forward. And if you're a little topsy-turvy on left, right, doesn't matter. We'll do side 1, side 2. And this arm, this back arm, can it travel back a little bit? Now, if you're in the chair, you're not going to have your hips are going to be a little bit more steady. So this arm is going to be more at a right angle. And one day, someday, maybe you get long arms going back and forth when you're standing. At this point, everybody's arm should be nice and warm and toasty. And you're probably thinking good thoughts about how much fun this is. And let's breathe in. If you are seated in the chair, your left hand comes to your hip. If you're standing, you can have left hand to hip, or it can slide down your leg. Right palm is going to come to the sky, and you're going to stretch, stretch, stretch here. This is our dancing warrior pose. And if you think of kind of any Bee Gees move from the 70s, you know, they did a little this. Now what we're going to move into is right hand's going to find the right knee. Left arm is coming up. Not so BG-esque. And then maybe that top arm's going to curve. Maybe. It might stay here. There are folks who are very stretchy around their midsection, and they can come down a little lower. And then we're going to come out of this craziness. Take a big breath in. And then we're all going to stretch our arms forward. The back arm comes forward. You're going to bring your back heel up. Wobble a little, no big deal. And then all of us are going to bring our feet together in the same place. We'll inhale our arms up. And can you interlace your fingers? Rotate your palms to the sky. And when you're ready, you'll exhale those arms in front of you. Inhale, do a gentle rotation, hands come close. Relax the shoulders, and when you're ready to breathe in again, rotate the palms towards the screen, possibly. Stretching into those wrists. Exhale, palms to your heart. Rotate, inhale. Rotate, exhale. One more like this. Big stretch for those shoulders. Rotate everything back in and release those arms down. Now what we're going to do, this part is actually really fun. I say fun with a lot of things we do. And some people don't find everything as fun as I do. Some people find it even more fun. Bev, I know who I'm talking to. This little shoulder shrug is pretty darn fabulous. So what we're going to do is inhale our shoulders and ears together. So remember, see how long my neck is right now? Now my neck is gone. And my shoulders are saying hello to my ears. My ears are saying hello to my shoulders. And then I will release them down. Let's take a breath or two and enjoy that change, maybe that feeling of ease. Roll the shoulders back. Wherever you are, find that steady pose with your fingers stretching towards the ground. Lengthen your spine. And maybe for this round, we'll just start by pressing our hand gently to our head gently to our hand, and see if we can get a little taller. Just lengthen that spine, bring that hand down. All right, seated folks, we're going to be doing almost everything the same, except our hips don't move quite as much. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Now, standing people, right heel comes up just a tad bit. Peep. See that? See that? Seated folks, that right foot moves back between the legs of the chair and the front foot steps forward. Now, if you're standing, you're going to say, wait a minute. I know the drill here. I'm going to inhale my arms up. I'm going to exhale my right heel down to the ground. Float the arms nice and long. Whew, and here we are. Because we have taken a little less time getting here, thank goodness, our arms feel so much more rested. Positive mindset, positive mindset. Let's rotate our palms to the sky. Rotate them back towards the ground. Right hand finds that hip bone or slides a little bit. Left palm stretches to the sky. Let's just stretch, stretch, stretch back. Maybe even that ear comes towards the shoulder. And it might happen that as you breathe, you find yourself sinking, and that's great. And then we're going to exhale back to this starting position. Front hand finds that knee, top arm stretches up, maybe over. Relax just a little bit more. Then we're going to come back and in a way come back to where we started. If you are seated, your right arm comes forward. If you're standing, your right arm comes forward, that right heel picks up, and all of us have the left foot a bit forward, the right foot a bit back. We're going to take our arms out to the side, and I know you're saying, but wait a minute, maybe she forgot those cool lunge things. I did not. What we're going to do is change them just a tiny bit. So we'll start with our arms out, and we're going to sink. This time when we inhale tall, left arm is going to come up, right arm is going to come down. We'll exhale back to midline. Inhale, left arm up, left arm down, right arm up, back to midline, and a couple more like this. Inhale to exhale, inhale to exhale. Roll the shoulders back. And then what we are going to do is bring our feet back where they started, next to each other. I'm going to take a couple of taps to get there. Our arms are wide. Our arms are feeling ever so awake. And then we're going to take one arm over the other, give ourselves a big old hug in. Maybe look side to side. Very slowly stretching into the neck. And then we're going to find the center of this pose, looking just down just a little bit to notice which arm is on top. Remember that. Soften your knees if you're standing. Open your heart where whatever your lower body is doing, wiggle those fingers a bit. And then we're going to take an exhale, and that other arm is going to come on top. And that hug in begins again. So with this hug in, I want us to give ourselves a little pat on the back for being here today. And that's sort of worth 2 or 3. So gently patting, and let's pretend your hands can't find your shoulders. Not a big deal. Your hands can find your elbows. Yeah. And if whichever version of this you're in, can we take those elbows up and down? And inhale up, and exhale down, and inhale up. Exhale to that midline, open the arms wide, and all of us are going to move our feet out. If you're seated, I want your heels at least as wide as the legs of your chair. If you're standing, I want more than a foot, maybe 2 feet, depending on the size and length of your legs, size of how your hips are feeling this morning. And all we're going to do, roll the shoulders back once, back twice, back 3 times. We're going to inhale up as if we are announcing victory. So wiggle those fingers, maybe wiggle those toes. And if you can, bend at the elbows, turning ourselves into a human cactus. Some of us with our heels in can bend down and add a little bit to this pose. That may not suit you, and that's all right. If you're seated, your knees are already bent. If you're standing, make sure your legs are soft. We don't want like popsicle stick legs. We want a little bit of softness. And we're going to do a little tick-tock side to side. So exhale, come down to this side, whichever side it is, doesn't matter left or right. Take a big breath in, exhaling through center. Roll the shoulders down. Inhale, up and tall. Exhale, sink down. Big breath in. Exhale, side two. When you're ready, breathe yourself here. We'll inhale tall. Exhale to sink. Inhale to strengthen your connection to the ground. Connect your feet. Exhale down to one side. Inhale to center. Relax the shoulders. When you're ready to take your next inhale, we'll stretch up tall. Exhale down. Inhale, try to bring those elbows back a little bit. And exhale. Here we go. Inhale here. Exhale, release the shoulders. Inhale as tall as you can get. Exhale, come down. Breath in, opens your heart. Exhale. Here we go. Let's inhale. Relax and sit with an exhale. Inhale, find your height. Find your victory arms. Exhale here. Inhale, open your heart just a little bit more and exhale. Come on back to the inhale. We're going to take a nice long victory arm stance. Release everything down. Kick out leg one. Kick out leg two. If you're seated, move around your waist and maybe a little foot energy. If you're standing, move around your waist. And in every class I teach, I like to stop for just a moment and make sure we take a hydration break. Now, I do have Earl Grey tea in here. So some of my best yoga friends will say things like, drink only hot water, drink only cold water, drink room temperature water. I would just like to make sure that everybody in this, especially in the heat of the summer, is taking a moment to hydrate. So cheers to us. And then we'll get back to where we started. So that's mountain pose. Now I'm going to bring my chair into our exercise. If you are seated, safely reseat yourself if you've gotten up. If you're standing and you have a chair, bring it in front of you. I just have to be a little creative with how I show what I'm doing and do what I'm saying. So find a mountain, face your chair. If you're seated, if you're standing, we're going to inhale our arms nice and tall. And then we're going to exhale our hands to our hearts. Let's take a moment to press palms together, fingertips together. Reconnect with your strength, with the corners of your hands, the corners of your feet. And then seated folk, as they inhale their arms tall, are going to relax their hands to their knees and find a nice deep forward fold. With the chair, it's going to look a little different. So we'll take our hands to the chair and then we'll walk our spine long, head between the biceps. Now the trick for everyone is to make sure your legs don't get stiff and stressed. So even if you're seated, just take a little movement into your legs, into your hips. We call this walking the dog. So just walk a little bit. Relax your head between your biceps. Notice your breath. And we're going to look forward, lifting the chin ever so slightly. Seated folks, walk your hands towards your hips. Standing folks, walk your feet under your shoulders. Relax down here. And we're going to turn into trees for just a few minutes. So if you are standing, now it would be a good time, I will be a little forward facing here, to hold on to your chair, and whichever hip is closer to the chair is just the right hip. If you are seated, we're gonna do most of the same stuff. And here's the advantage: if you're seated, you're really able to engage your core as you lengthen in your spine and engage your belly. And then you have the stability of seat on chair. For standing people, we have the stability of feet on ground, and that's a good thing. We're going to take, everybody is going to take their outside leg out a little bit. If you are seated in your chair, can you cross that, probably your left or whichever leg has come out just in front of the other leg? You might want to like have the outside edges of your feet together, or you may feel better having that foot out a little taller. If you're standing, we're going to go a little differently. We're going to take that outside leg out, bend that knee. Oh, you guys need to see my feet a bit. Hold the horses. Okay. So, almost. All right. So then we're going to take this outside leg in. And this might be in. If you have a little bit more hip stretch, you can take that outside knee out a little bit. It can be here, it can be here. Some folks can bring that leg right in close. That's fabulous. Some folks can slide that leg up a little higher. No one in my class is going to be doing this. We do not want this foot pressing into that knee. So maybe here, maybe here. And wherever you are, reconnect to your hips and your shoulders, see if they can face forward. And we'll inhale the outside arm out. And now you're going to play. Do you feel comfortable raising that right hand? If you're seated, I expect and hope that you can get both arms up or out. If your arms can come out, let the breeze blow through your finger or leaves. And just play with this, have some fun. Guess what? I'm wiggling, I'm wobbling, pretty normal, natural, and good, because if you're wobbling, you're experiencing the edge of the pose. And that's why we have the chair here, because let's pretend this Wednesday is a little bit of a wobbly Wednesday. The chair is here to help me. Let's pretend this is a Wednesday where everything's steady. Chair's just there because it's such a lovely chair. And let's bring our hands down. Hello, August. And bring our feet back to kind of a more wide stance. Circle the hips. If you're sitting on the chair, I want hands to the hips. I'll just show you what I'm looking for. And we want to be around like this. If you're seated, you can get, as you move, you can take, like if you go right, maybe the left hip picks up. As you go left, there's a little bit of challenge and excitement here. And guess what? We're moving to side two. Just a quick note, when we're getting up and down from our chairs, always good. Nose over toes, hands support you, engage your core, stretch up tall. Okay. Then, side two. I move the furniture. Nobody else needs to move furniture unless that's something you love. Don't let me hold you back. So, standing or seated. Let's release our shoulders. Feel our feet on the ground or in our shoes. Relax the shoulders down. And then inside arm can hold on to the chair or not. The outside leg is going to come out. If you're seated, the drill is you kind of see where you can bring the foot maybe a little bit closer in, maybe over here. Maybe you can take, if you're seated, I would be very mindful. I don't want anybody doing kind of going too far. That's why I recommend a little bit different stance with the feet. Standing people, stretch that foot in, stretch that knee out. Hold on to the chair while you're kind of playing with this. Let's see, can you rock your hips and shoulders forward? And you take that outside arm out. Does it help when you look at something that's not going to move that's in front of you? Perhaps. Hands can both come out. You can let your fingers or leaves flutter. And if you wobble, these arms are very nice to steady you. Maybe you're having a very strong balance day. That's fabulous. You can play with making yourself a little bit more narrow. Stretch those arms back. Oh, wobble. Guess what? The world's still spinning. So we can bring that foot back in or say, I've had enough. Widen your stance and just move around. Maybe tapping behind your back. If you're seated, I dearly would love to see you lifting and stretching. Then all of us with our chair handy beside us or under our rears, gonna roll the shoulders down. If you're seated or if you're standing, I want you to feel the contact of feet to ground. If you're seated or standing, I want you to engage the big muscles in the back of your lower legs, the calf muscles. If you're seated or standing, I want you to engage the big muscles in your thighs, the quadriceps, the glutes, everything like this. And if you're standing, maybe your knees can bend a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, maybe a little bit more, I don't know. And then what we're going to do here is inhale tall. Exhale. If you're seated, I want the hands to heart. If you're standing in this lovely chair position, that's what we call it. I wonder why. Maybe the left elbow can come up, the right elbow. Left elbow comes under, right elbow comes up. Ooh, so stretchy. Breathe in. And your exhale takes you through to the other side. Then come back to center. And we're going to take a big breath in. If you're seated, when our arms come up, our heels come up. If you're standing, when your arms come up, your legs straighten. And if you are feeling steady, you're welcome to try a little bit of a heel lift. Come down. If your double-footed balance game is not ready for the freestyle, then you're going to go here, roll your shoulders back, and we're going to try that again. Seated people, I want hands up, heels up. Standing people, it might be heels up, hands on the chair. Stretch on down, or maybe one arm. Stretch on down, maybe the other arm. Big breath in, fill the belly. Exhale, come on down. Last one, no matter what version you're taking, just smile into this. Inhale whatever breath suits you right now, through the nose, through the ears. Kidding. Exhale, hands to heart, and everybody is going to shake things out a little bit. I'm turning my chair, and this is a gentle hint that we are going to all return to our chairs. If you're going to go to your mat, that's fine too, but I'm going to teach the last 10 or so minutes from the chair. So if you're in your chair, just be patient, we'll be with you. If you are going to sit right now, when you find that your chair, I want you to feel your calves into the back of the chair. Start sliding your hands down to the edges of your chair, and look, it's just like threading a needle. Your rear end lands in just the right position, and that is, we call that in my classes the Jerry Greenberg variation of sitting. It's nice on the days that things are a little good, might be a little left when they should be right, or right when they should be left, to just give yourself a steady descent into the chair. So what we're going to do is, because we have moved our hips around quite a bit, I want us to do just a little bit of a hip stretch. And this should feel quite restorative, which means rather than feeling like you're just about to start a road race, it's more like, oh, I'm taking care of my legs. Well, I'll explain even more. So let's kind of rattle a little bit side to side until we feel comfy and steady on the chair. And maybe we go back a little and walk ourselves forward a little, come back a little. And one leg, doesn't matter which, presses to the ground, toes spread wide. The other leg, we're going to play with variations. We can lift the heel up, engage all the muscles in the leg. We can take our hands underneath our legs or maybe in front of them and just take this knee up for a gentle stretch. Avoid the tendency to come back, because that's going to kind of throw us a little out of line. So shoulders stay over our hips. And depending on what feels right, it might be time for some foot circles or the other way. Maybe you can flex and point your foot. When your foot comes to neutral, you can do some circles. Now, there are some folks who can do this one-handed or no-handed. That's fine. But if you find yourself curling back, hold on again, and just come back to our little circles of fun. If you are getting tired and fatigued, I invite you to bring that foot down. The only other adventure we're going to have is lengthening that leg. Might feel good, it might not be right for you today. And kind of breathe in, find your bliss here, push that heel out. And again, this could be time to play with one arm out, another arm out, both arms out. You're just going to find your happiness here. And then when we bring that foot down, oh, golly, 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 we're going to take our hands, gently cup them, and just tap down the outside of the leg, around the ankle and up the inside of the leg. And then down the center line and up behind. I know. It's a massage and an exercise class. Who knew? So guess what? We have side two. So now this leg, the one that was doing a lot of that work, is going to relax to the ground and those toes, foot are contacting the earth. The second heel comes up, and if this is feeling right, you're going to do all kinds of good circles. If you can come up, that's fine, because guess what we're going to do? We're going to do all kinds of good circles. And we'll circle the other way. And then a little flex, and a little point, and a little flex, and a little point, flex, a little point. And maybe now this leg holds you steady, and this leg starts doing some nice, delightful circles. And maybe you go the other way. And of course, you can do the cowboy, woo, one hand, or cowboy, cow person, other way. Lengthen your spine, hook those arms under that, those hands under that leg, and stretch. Biggest foot flex of the day. Ooh, push that heel towards me. And again, you're welcome to play with any level of support here. I'm going to keep both hands under my leg because I'm enjoying this big old stretch in the front of my long leg. I'm bringing everything down. Kind of take the knees side to side, relax here, then hands. We're going to start the outside of that hip and gently cup the hands and pat, 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 pat down around that ankle, up, 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 the inside. inside of that leg, and then just gently pat down, 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 up, 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 up. Roll the shoulders back. I want us to get very comfortable in our chair, so I'm making myself look very awkward. So don't do what I'm doing. Sit yourself nice and tall in the chair. Relax your shoulders down. There are some of us who will feel even more peaceful if we bring our shoulders up or back to rest against the chair. It might feel good to keep your feet close in. It might feel nice to bring them out a little wider. Let's bring hand to heart, hand to belly, and eyes can close or they can stay open as you notice your inhale and you notice your exhale. If you can, you'll breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. If that doesn't work for you, breathe in through your mouth, your nose, whatever feels like you're getting a deep breath, filling your lungs, expanding your heart. And exhale, release down. If this is feeling lovely and peaceful, stay here. If you'd like to slide your hands down to your lap, palms can be up, palms can be down. As your body slows down, you'll notice your breath slows down. As your breath and body slow down, quite likely your thoughts of all that brain activity is slowing down, and that is absolutely wonderful. We're going to slowly rub our palms together, just create a little heat. And we'll cup those warm hands over our eyes. So back, bottom of the hand, just right where your cheekbones are, fingertips are on the scalp. And from here, start fluttering your eyes open so the light is slowly coming back. Spread your fingers a little bit, get a little bit more daylight. And what we're going to do from here is open our elbows out, press our fingertips to our forehead. Get a little taller in the spine, pressing fingers gently into the forehead and slide the fingers apart. Take those nice warm fingers to massage right around your temples. Slide those fingers to massage right where your upper and lower jaw meet. Stretch those arms down. Flutter the eyes just to greet this beautiful day. Inhale nice and tall. exhale, hands to heart. And I want to thank everybody for participating on this beautiful Wednesday morning. I appreciate you taking the time in your day to participate, to try something new, and I'm so glad we had this time together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Adaptive PE. You're always amazing to start a community day.
Yes. Have a great community day. There's music, there's information, oh my gosh, there's so many good things happening today. So stay tuned. There's more good things about to happen. Tina can tell you all about them. Take care, my friends.
Thank you, guys. See you in the next session.
Thank you.